This Formula One season has been incredibly rookie heavy. We have had 6 rookies on the grid at the same time, and 7 total rookies this season making their way onto the grid. But how have they all really been performing? Welcome to Rookie Report, the summer break series where we will be breaking down every single one of this year's rookies, looking at their performance, how things are stacking up, and of course, how all of the rookies are stacking up against each other. Today, we're going to start with Kimi Antonelli. Putting Kimi Antonelli in this Mercedes seat was a very contentious decision last year. Not only would he be filling a seat vacated by a 7-time world champion, Lewis Hamilton, but at the time that they were making this decision, Kimi was only 17 years old. Not only that, but he had actually skipped one level on the sort of ladder going up to Formula One, skipping over F3 and going straight to F2 from F4. Now, all of that points to a very clear belief that Kimi had a huge amount of potential, but you never really know how good someone is until you put them in the car. Kimi currently sits 7th in the driver's standings with 64 points, making him the highest ranked rookie in the entire grid. Just ahead of him is Lewis Hamilton with 109 points at Ferrari, and just behind him with a 10-point gap is Alex Albon. In the first 14 rounds of this season, Kimi has had 7-point finishes. His best finish was also his first podium. That was in Canada, where he held off both McLarens in order to take that 3rd place finish. Additionally, Kimi also opened the season very strongly with a 4th place finish in Australia, and that was even more impressive with the rainy conditions and the fact that only 2 rookies of the entire field actually even finished the race, with the other rookie being Ollie Bearman, who finished the race last with no points at all. And of course, we can't talk about Kimi Antonelli without talking about sprint races. In Miami, Kimi became the youngest ever pole sitter in any format by taking the sprint race pole. And while the race itself did not pan out for him, it is still a pretty big demonstration of speed under pressure. Now, where are the negatives for Kimi? Unfortunately, a lot of it right now is in a very high rate of DNFs. Kimi has DNF'd 4 out of 14 races. Some of those were not his fault and were car problems, and some of them were his fault and rookie mistakes. One of the biggest instances of that was in Austria, when he made a mistake that not only took himself out of the race, but also Max Verstappen. Since Kimi's podium in Canada, he DNF'd 2 races back-to-back in Austria and in Silverstone, and then he had a 16th place finish followed by a 10th place finish in Hungary. However, I would argue with Kimi, the bet so far has paid off. Putting a rookie in a very high seat like Mercedes is a risk in itself, and Kimi came in with such a high amount of pressure into this season that seeing him not only open with a strong performance in Australia, but also continue to have an overall good performance in terms of the season is a pretty strong indicator that he will have what it takes to continue pushing forward in this sport. How have you felt about Kimi Antonelli's performance? Do you feel like he should have gone to a lower level team before coming up to Mercedes? And do you think Kimi will break out of the slump that he's in currently and start to flourish again for the last portion of this season? Let me know what you think, and be sure to follow along for the rest of the Rookie Report episodes as we break down the rest of the rookies in this season before we come back from summer break.